11 plus for this weather update, this severe weather update. Yeah, we're going to talk about the possibility of severe weather this afternoon into the evening hours and the severe weather threat that continues all the way into the weekend and even into early next week. My goodness, I'm looking forward to getting this big ridge of high pressure over the top of us for the next 6 months. I know that a lot of you out there, you're probably worn out with all the severe weather. I know that I can speak for the weather team here that we are too. We are ready to move on to summer. And summer-like conditions in terms of the feel, adding fuel to the fire for the afternoon hours. And with an enhanced risk of severe weather that's touching a part of Pulaski County, Tracy Bean earlier this morning placed us under a weather impact alerts, mainly for the afternoon and evening hours. Strong to severe storms are possible. All modes of severe weather. We're talking about damaging wind, hail, and even a few tornadoes. But I tell you what, with the National Weather Service keeping a close eye on things, they sent up a weather balloon here not long ago, and the profiles coming back really indicate more of a strong wind damage type of scenario, or at least straight line wind damage scenario and large hail, more than a tornado threat. But there is a tornado watch. I'll show you that here in just a few moments. Now, along with the storms, we're probably going to see the possibility of some heavy rainfall as these storms continue to roll across the same areas between now and Sunday, even into Monday and Tuesday next week. So there is your Friday weather picture, at least for the evening hours. If you have any outdoor events planned, graduation events planned, hopefully schools have moved them indoors just to be safe. I've got the latest timing on the weather coming up here in just a moment. Let me get to what we have currently. There is a tornado watch. This does include a part of the THV 11 viewing area, Yell County, Conway, Pope, Van Buren, Cleburne County, Independence, Jackson, Stone, even Searcy counties and Johnson counties. This is until 7 o'clock tonight. We had a supercell thunderstorm this afternoon that developed. It brought some big hail to a portion of this area, 1 3/4 inch hail upwards to possibly baseball-sized hail. So that has been the main concern this afternoon. That storm has pretty much died out. It's hit the cap. You hear us talk about the cap, or an inversion aloft where you've got some warm air. Well, the cap is strong, and as long as the cap holds, it's a good thing. But once the cap breaks, and it more than likely will as we get a lifting mechanism to come through here, then thunderstorm development will happen very quickly. Explosive thunderstorm development, again with our main concern being strong winds and some big hail. And there are indications the hail could be as big as 4 inches in diameter, and that's destructive. That's a cause for concern for property as well as personal injury. But here's what's happening on radar. Rod, you can take this full if you'd like. There's not much going on. There's one little blip in Independence County. That's all that's left of that supercell thunderstorm that moved across Johnson, Pope, Van Buren, a part of Cleburne and even Stone counties. It's weakened. Most of the action is happening well to our north in Missouri. You know what? It can stay there. All right. I know that they've got to be tired of having severe weather. It seems like every other day. Let's move along and talk about what's going on outside. Visible satellite perspective shows mid-80s and a few breaks in those clouds. Again, the cap very strong here, and as long as we can stay in the clouds, that'll help a little bit, but there's enough cape or energy out there for thunderstorm fuel. Notice how the skies kind of break up over in northwest Arkansas. Again, frontal boundary moving in, and that boundary is eventually going to make it through central and southern Arkansas, stall out, become a focal point of more storms this weekend. 84 Fayetteville, 85 El Dorado. It's 79 though in Clinton, and we're going to keep an eye. I'm going to keep an eye. It's going to be the River Valley area here this afternoon. If storms can redevelop, that's the more likely area of storms that come together, and that's also what the forecast models are indicating, of which I will show you both here in just a moment. Now, the severe weather risk, it did change a little bit last night into early this morning. The enhanced risk did drop down and include a few more of the Little Rock metro area, including northern Pulaski County, Lone Oak, Faulkner, Conway, White County. So we went ahead and put out a weather impact alert for the enhanced risk down into the Little Rock metro. The greatest concern, or the greatest threat of severe weather, is in that orange area and to the northeast. There is a moderate risk for a couple of 3 counties in northeast Arkansas. You've got a greater tornado threat there. You've got wind profiles, more wind shear there, more turning motion as you go up. But here in central and southwest Arkansas, doesn't mean we won't have a tornado warning. It just means that we have a greater threat of seeing some straight line damaging winds and also some large hail. So that is our severe weather risk. What about the hazards? Let's start with wind, 60 plus miles per hour, or even upwards to 75 or 80. Especially in the hatched area, there is a slight risk of that in central and southwest Arkansas. Up to softball-sized hail possible. 4-inch hail, softball-sized hail. The whole state. Yeah, there's enough juice there for it. There's enough energy. There's enough storm fuel for that to happen. And the tornado threat, Little Rock, Mount Ida, Fordyce South, it's a very low wind threat, but a higher wind threat. But northeast Arkansas will still contain that tornado threat for this afternoon into the evening hours. I'll talk about how long this is going to last once it gets going here in just a few minutes. I said it's a multi-day severe weather threat. Tomorrow afternoon, once again, there is a slight risk of severe weather, and that covers up a good part of the state. There's a little bit of a marginal threat over northeast Arkansas. There will be a complex of storms that will develop and move across the region. Again, damaging wind and large hail, our primary concern. I think we're going to get a break, though. Storms tonight move out of the way. Skies may clear out a little. Temperatures drop into the middle 60s, and then tomorrow, a partly sunny day, high temperature getting close to 90 once again, and late in the day, the next complex of storms moves across southwest, southern, and possibly central Arkansas. Here are the hazards tomorrow. And again, the hatched area indicates where we could see a significant severe weather, large hail. Quarter-sized hail is severe. When you get into golf ball sized, you're getting into hailstones that will cause some property damage. I mean, quarter-sized hail that comes down at a pretty good rate, it'll cause some damage. But that's going to be the main concern tomorrow. Winds of 60-plus miles per hour or greater in that yellow shaded area. But the tornado threat is very, very low tomorrow. In fact, there's not a threat of a tornado in Batesville, but there is Little Rock, Arkadelphia, and El Dorado. That is day 2. Day 3 coming up Sunday. We'll see another chance of strong to severe thunderstorms in the state. This is Sunday, May 18th. We're under a marginal threat of severe weather. The greatest threat is going to be to our west. It begins to shift a little back over the southern plain states. And by the time we hit Monday and Tuesday especially, a more broad-based chance of strong to severe thunderstorms. But if we can get through Tuesday without too much harm, I think you're really going to like the forecast Wednesday into the Memorial Day holiday weekend. We're going to cool off a bit. We're going to dry out a bit, and it's going to be more comfortable. But we've got some hot and humid days ahead, with a chance of strong to severe thunderstorms. Right now, the boundary that moved into Arkansas last night is stationary. It is going to get a shove to the east a little later this afternoon into tonight. And we are going to see storms develop once again out ahead of that front, generally in a line, let's say from north central to western Arkansas, encompassing the River Valley area. That line is going to move to the southeast. Big hail, strong wind gusts in northeast Arkansas. There will remain to be a tornado threat. There's a tornado threat happening right now in Missouri over the eastern and southeastern part of the state. Got to get that out of the way. It's going to take a little more time, though, for that to happen. Sky conditions have been partly sunny. They're clearing out a bit over northwest Arkansas. A little more sun. Yeah, that just adds more energy to our storm chances today. Let me walk you through the timing. And this may change a little bit, but I'm happy to report that now our graph model is in line with the high-res model. Both are indicating the same thing. The line is going to develop somewhere in western Arkansas. This is 2:30. This is currently. Look what happens at 4 o'clock. We begin to see this line develop, and we'll keep an eye on if individual cells within that line could see some supercells develop. And as we head toward the 5 o'clock hour, a little bit more of a line developing. If they would line up and be linear, it takes away the tornado threat, but the strong wind threat is going to be there. This is the projected timing, 5 o'clock, getting into west central Arkansas, not quite to the Little Rock Metro, but by 6 o'clock, that line begins to move into the Pulaski County area, Faulkner County, White, Lonoke County, Montgomery County. The good news, once the line moves through your area, the severe weather threat will come to an end. So that's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock, moving into central Arkansas. Graduation ceremonies tonight. Hopefully they're inside. You're probably going to hear some heavy rain, some wind, and possibly some hail. That line by 9 o'clock is over southeast Arkansas, and the threat of severe weather really begins to diminish until we hit Saturday afternoon. This is 5 o'clock tomorrow. That next complex is coming together out of Texas. That's what it looks like tomorrow night around 10:30. It looks like it's going to split apart a bit. Stronger storms over southern Arkansas and then again in northwest Arkansas. And hopefully during the day tomorrow, it'll stay clear for the ball games happening in northwest Arkansas with the ladies team and also the men's team finishing up, a series for the Razorback men, but the regional for the ladies. So that's what the HER says. The graph is pretty in line with the HER. This is 5 o'clock. There's that line. Could have a strong, this Polk County. Polk County is going to be picked on again today. I hope not. I hope we don't have to have these tornado warnings. I hope there's severe thunderstorm warnings with wind and big hail, although big hail is still a threat. 6 o'clock. That line, not as impressive on the graph as it is with the HER. The graph wants to speed this thing along and get it out of Arkansas by 9 o'clock tonight. I would love to lean toward the graph, but the HER has been more consistent. Between the two, tonight between 8, 9, 10 o'clock, storms should be leaving us. And then once again tomorrow afternoon, that complex begins to come together. It's a little more concentrated over in southeast Oklahoma. Tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock, begins to move into western and southwestern Arkansas. This is what it looks like or could look like by tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Strong wind gusts and some big hail with that complex, as well as some heavy rain. I do want to mention that because it's a multi-day situation, if you get rain one day, you may not get it the next. But if you do happen to get rain every day, there will be the potential for some flooding concerns because these storms are going to dump a lot of water. There's a lot of moisture pent up in the atmosphere. And then we get a break till Sunday afternoon. What I like about the graphic, it can take us all the way through the weekend. Northeast and north central Arkansas, Sunday will have a mesoscale system that is going to travel from northwest to southeast. As it appears now, it's the northeastern part of the state with the graph. Now with the HER going out a little bit farther, as we'll see, that may be in a different place. But this is the graph. By 6 o'clock Sunday, that activity is out of the way, and I'm just going to move it slowly along. So that could be the only chance of storms we have Sunday through Sunday night. I hope so. I get to work Sunday. Nathan's here Saturday. And then more storms may develop in northern Arkansas late Sunday into Monday. This according to the graph. Just kind of an asterisk here. These forecast models are only projections. They take the latest information that we're getting from all the reports and the weather balloons and the computer models, put them together. There's going to be changes. And the severe weather threat may go up or may go down for someone, depending on what these forecast models have to say. Kind of at the mercy of the models. Now let's talk about the threat of big hail this afternoon. Let me back this up just a little bit. This model is utilizing the hail risk with radar. And anywhere you see the orange, 2-inch diameter hail or larger is possible. This is 3 o'clock if storms happen to get going. And by 5 o'clock, storms will be ongoing, projected by our models in the river valley. And those storms could produce 2-inch hail stones or larger. They get closer to central Arkansas. That threat of hail still in the 2-inch range. Looks like it's going to wind on down just a bit. This is by 7 o'clock, 7:30. The storms in southeast Arkansas still with the potential of producing 2-inch hail or larger. But notice the threat of hail by early tomorrow morning really disappears, especially over northern Arkansas. Southern Arkansas, if this model is correct, midnight, we may still have a couple of storms that could produce some hail down there. We'll see what happens. All right. Hey, Jacob, how are you? I'm streaming on THV 11 Plus, and Jacob's walking through. Mr. Summer Cereal Drive himself.
I just wanted to see you.
You just wanted to say hi?
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, Jacob. Stay safe out there. Say hi to Jesse. It's good when people come to visit me. I'm a man with no one around me right now. You know, they should come in and say hi. The boss should come in and say hi. She's here. She's probably not watching. Anyway, okay, back to the hail risk with radar. We go back to Sunday, and yeah, there's going to be a chance of hail, but the sliding scale goes back to hail possible and not the really big stuff, maybe an inch and a half with that. Okay, so just to give you a comparison, the hail chart, this is great. I did see a report of 1 3/4 inch hail today. It's golf ball sized, but the potential is there for 4-inch hail. You get up to softball sized. Baseball, tennis ball, wouldn't be surprised if the storms come together like they're supposed to or like they could this afternoon. I'll tell you this, I hope they don't come together, but this is a good idea. And whenever you send us pictures, and I'm going to ask you to do that, I want you to be safe. You can put them on our THV11 Weather Reporters page, or you can always text them to us at 501-376-1111. Use something to compare, whether it's a quarter, a golf ball, a nickel, a penny, or a dime. That gives an idea of how large the hailstone is. You can put it in your hand or put it down, take a couple of pictures of it. And the National Weather Service also welcomes those reports. The boss is coming.
I was watching.
Come here. I've been trying to get you on one of these streams forever. Come on. Come on over here, Shayla. She's wearing a THV11 shirt. You're not wearing your summer cereal drive shirt yet.
No.
Yes, you have. Ladies and gentlemen, our news director, Shayla Cryle-Teeter. How you doing?
Hi.
Well, you don't have a microphone.
No, I don't want a microphone.
Here, come here. I'll do this right here.
No.
Gearing up for the weekend here. We've got storms in the forecast. Nathan and I are going to be quite busy this weekend. Yeah.
I'll be
You're going to be busy too?
Yeah.
You got to hang out with us
Yeah.
while we take care of the weather.
For sure.
All right. I wanted you to meet her. Wanted you to see her. Okay.
Thank
She's
you.
got to go run a news department now. Thank you, Shayla. I wonder if JD's watching. He's probably not watching.
He's probably watching.
JD is our assistant news director. He looks like Ed Sheeran. I kid you not, canny resemblance. All right, I know that I'm digressing, getting away from it all. But hey, with this chat this afternoon, anything goes, right? Hail size, again, when you send us your photos, make sure you have something to compare the hail with, okay? That's what we ask you to do. There's the photos, 501-376-1111. Text them our way. We also have a THV11 Weather Reporters page that you can be a part of. If you're on Facebook, we'd love to have you join us and help report the weather in your area. I've said this, you're the eyes and ears of the area for us, and for us to know what's happening near you, we need your reports. So send them our way if you can. 501-376-1111. Text your photos to us. It's difficult to send video in this regard, but you can put video on Facebook and say, hey, Tom, or hey, Nathan, use the video if you'd like to. All right. A couple of more things that I do want to mention. There you go. A couple of things I do want to mention. Storm fuel. It is off the charts out there. We got a lot of CAPE. We've got a lot of convective available potential energy. This is noon today, but you see all that red? That's a lot of energy. That is a ton of storm fuel to work with. When do we begin to see it kind of wind down? It'll be after that line of storms moves through your region. This is tomorrow morning, northern half of the state. We lose a lot of that fuel. It begins to shift over southern Arkansas. There you go. But it'll be on the low end, which is certainly some good news. It's very, you can feel it out there, the warmth, the instability here at the surface, and it's also a little bit windy. Storm fuel is going to come back to us, though, on Saturday as the sun comes out, heats up the atmosphere. We will have more storm fuel to work with for that next round of storms that's going to come blasting through here Saturday into Sunday. So with that in mind, how about lightning? Well, this is the European model. I'm going to stop it right here. European model shows where the strongest storms will occur this afternoon, or at least the lightning gives us an idea of where those strong storms could occur. And it's pretty much in line with our other models, the graph and the HER, where the storms are going to be moving through between now and the evening hours, and then departing with more storms coming our way Saturday afternoon and evening. This is Saturday afternoon. Here comes that next complex with lightning, a lot of lightning with that, and then again on Sunday as we head through time. There you go. More storms in the forecast. Man, just a multi-day type of situation. You know what you can do? You can always watch as Nathan and I stream. Nathan will probably be streaming tomorrow afternoon. THV11 Plus, that's where you are right now. Now, here's the thing. It's free download from your TV if you haven't already done so. Some of you might be watching from your phone. If you got a Samsung TV, breaking news, actually, it's within the last month. Samsung TVs have added the THV11 Plus app to their app lineup so you can download and watch programming, not just our streaming products, but other great things from weather-wise from Nathan Scott to other programming that we have running. You can select and pick and watch. So be sure you do that. All right, so there you go. That's a brief weather update. I think what I want to do real quick, though, before I run out of time, is go back up to the top here And again, run down just kind of the update of what we're expecting for the rest of the day. We have a tornado watch in effect. It does not include Little Rock and Pulaski County, but it does include counties that are adjacent to us until 7 o'clock tonight. So the tornado watch is there. And there you go right there. Conway County, Yell County, Van Buren, Pope, Cleburne, Independence, Scott, not Polk. This area has the greater wind profiles, has the greater wind shear. We'll look for those storms to develop this evening, and then I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few more of those counties added toward the evening hours. And one more check of radar before we go this afternoon. Again, hopefully we'll have a 5 and 6 o'clock newscast. If not, then we'll be right back here on THV 11 Plus. If we have any tornado warnings, we'll break into programming. And look at that, folks. This may be the clearest the radar looks for the rest of the day today. That storm that was a supercell thunderstorm plowed into the cap. The cap won this time, and that's good news. Hopefully the cap will hold for the rest of the day and the storms won't be too terribly bad. The severe weather risk really is greater the farther north and east that you travel. All right, thank you for joining us. It is 2:50. You've been watching THV 11 Plus, a little weather streaming this afternoon, and Nathan will be along this weekend, so will I, and we will keep you informed with all of your events and outdoor activities that are happening, whether it's the kids' baseball or softball or even graduation. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at 5 o'clock tonight. Take care.